Hi, I'm Ted Turner. I'm 77 years old, and I'm the next winner of Walton's Got Talent. I am the founder of CNN, the United Nations Foundation, and the owner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Hawks. But I feel like winning this contest is the next big thing for me.
Now, is Ted your real name, or do you just use Ted because you want to?
My real name is actually Robert Edward Turner III. I use Ted because I never really liked my full name.
Now, your net worth is 2.2 billion. What does a man like you do with that type of money?
I'm really into sailing and have even competed in the Olympic trials. In 1977, I won the American Cup, and 2 years later, I made it through a race, which only 19 of the 32 boats survived, and 19 people sadly passed away.
Now, with this money you have acquired, you've not only created the United Nations Foundation, but you've also donated about $1 billion to the United Nations itself. What incentivized you to do so?
The United Nations is a group that has way too big of an impact on everyone not to be supported. When you have this kind of money, you get to the point where you don't know what to do with it, and if you don't use it for the good of the community, or in this case, the world, if I were to keep it all for myself, I'd be an extremely selfish man. Giving it to this organization like the United Nations is not a problem at all, considering what they do for the people of this world.
Now, Ted, what else do you do for the community?
Well, I've also established the Turner Foundation, which has a vision of preservation and conservation of the environment throughout the world.
In 1991, you were named Time Magazine's Man of the Year. How did you feel about this happening?
Well, when I first started helping the community, I never really expected anything or really wanted anything out of it. I just wanted to benefit the community. But winning that kind of award gives me a good feeling that I'm on the right path and truly helping people.
I've heard you started as a Coast Guard. How does that affect you as a person?
Serving in the military branch makes you a completely different person. I think it's what shaped me into the person I am today. You learn so much from serving your country in the circumstances you're put in. The main thing I learned were discipline and respect. Specifically with the Coast Guard, it's not an easy job whatsoever, but getting the chance to save someone's life is unlike anything I've ever experienced.
Now, what education have you received?
When I was about 12, I started at McCallie Boarding School, which is a school that teaches honesty and dignity. And when I graduated, I wanted to enroll in the Naval Academy, but my father, he insisted that I try and enroll in Harvard. I ended up not getting into Harvard, but I made it into Brown. But before I could graduate, I was kicked out for having a girl in my dorm.
So you're really big in Atlanta, and you have a lot of investments there. Do you consider Atlanta your hometown?
No, actually, I was born in Cincinnati, but Atlanta's always been there, and it's a very big business hub. And I just branched out in the city, and it became sort of my hometown.
What was your reaction to hearing about Major Street in Atlanta being renamed to Ted Turner Drive?
It's a true honor, honestly. I never expected anything like this to happen, but it's a proud accomplishment of mine, and I'm real happy that Atlanta did this for me.
Where did you first come up with the idea of CNN?
I first had the idea for CNN when I was in McCallie, and I would always want to watch the news, but during the prime time when most news networks were broadcasting, I was always in class, and so I thought of the idea of a 24-hour news network. But we weren't able to start with that until we got this one satellite called the Satcom-1. And when I first launched CNN, it actually only had a staff of 25 employees, and it was located in a former country club outside Atlanta. But on the first broadcast, I promised that we would not stop broadcasting until the end of the world.
Well, how did you first get into broadcasting business?
Well, I first started in advertising in my father's company, which was called Turner Advertising. I took over the company as CEO and president when he killed himself in 1963. In 1976, I changed the name to Turner Broadcasting Agency, and it all just went from there.
Well, you've got a lot of investments in sports. Do you consider yourself as a big sports person or no?
Oh yeah, I'm a huge sports fan. I'm really into basketball and of course the Hawks. But what people mostly don't know is that I actually was a manager for the Braves when I first purchased them.
Have you ever tried anything else like politics?
Well, besides being able to interview the top powers of the world, I've also created the NCI, which is the Nuclear Threat Initiative, and its goal is to prevent the increase of nuclear, chemical, and other weapons of mass destruction.
Well, what really would you say your key to success is? How is a man of your age still increasing his net worth?
Well, as I say, early to bed, early to rise, work like hell, and advertise. That basically summarizes my life and gives context to the mindset that has allowed me to enjoy such success.
You have also founded Ted Montana's Grill. What inspired you to open up this restaurant?
Well, obviously, I love bison. I own the largest bison ranch in America, and it's one of my greatest passions. So I decided to create my own restaurant to continue that passion.
So why do you think that you could be the next winner of Walton's Got Talent?
Well, if I don't win, I'll hunt the judges down just like my bison.
Well, that wraps up the interview. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck in the contest.
My pleasure.
Well, you got a problem with me.
Nah.